Hollywood is mourning the loss of Jon Miyahara. The actor best known for his hilariously deadpan portrayal of Brett Kobashigawa in NBC's workplace comedy Superstore. Miyahara passed away peacefully, leaving behind a legacy of laughter delivered, mostly without words, though his character rarely spoke. Brett was a constant presence in the bustling, often chaotic world of Cloud9, the fictional megastore at the heart of Superstore. With just a glance, a sigh, or a strategically raised eyebrow, Miyahara managed to steal scenes and hearts, becoming a fan favorite over the show's 6-season run, from the show's very first season. Brett stood out not through dialogue or punchlines, but through sheer presence. He was the calm in the chaos, the unflinching observer of the often absurd behavior of his coworkers. Whether dodging flying products during a store brawl, or casually reappearing after being thought dead following a tornado, Brett's screen time was minimal but always memorable. Fans on social media often joked that Brett had the best survival instincts of anyone in the store. They weren't wrong. Despite multiple dramatic events, including a hostage situation, natural disasters, and management shakeups, Brett somehow always survived, unfazed and unbothered, giving viewers a reason to smile. While Miyahara gained widespread recognition, later in life through Superstore, his career was a quiet but steady journey through the world of performance. A trained stage actor with a background in physical comedy and mime, Miyahara brought a unique discipline and grace to his on-screen work. Before Superstore, he had made small but impactful appearances in commercials, indie films, and theater productions throughout California. Former co-star Lauren Ash, who played Dina on Superstore, shared a heartfelt tribute on Instagram. Jon was a master of silent comedy. He could make you laugh with just one blink. We loved Brett, but we adored Jon. He was kind, funny, and always prepared. He made our set brighter. Superstore, which ran from 2015 to 2021, became a critical and commercial success for its clever mix of humor, social commentary, and ensemble cast. While characters like Amy America Ferrera, Jonah Ben Feldman, and Dina Lauren Ash delivered the big laughs and dramatic arcs, Brett became a cult icon. Online fan forums regularly speculated about Brett's backstory, joked about his off-screen adventures, and even created memes imagining him as an immortal being who had worked at every Cloud9 store in America. His reappearance in later episodes after being presumed dead sparked one of the biggest laughs and biggest surprises. In the series, Jon Miyahara's passing is being felt deeply by Superstore fans across the globe. While he may not have delivered monologues or featured in major plot lines, he represented something much deeper: the joy of subtlety, the power of presence, and the reminder that sometimes you don't need words to be heard. Social media tributes have flooded in since news of his death broke. Brett never said a word, and yet I cried every time he came on screen. Thank you, Jon, the heart of Superstore. Rip legend. Who knew a silent character would leave such a loud mark? Thank you for the laughs. Jon Miyahara passed away surrounded by loved ones, according to a statement from his family. He is survived by his 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and his beloved dog. Miso, the family has requested privacy, but encouraged fans to watch an episode of Superstore and remember. Brett with a smile. There are no immediate plans for a public memorial, but NBC is reportedly planning a short tribute to air during reruns and streaming platforms in the loud, fast-paced world of television where scripts are packed with monologues, catchphrases, and over-the-top drama. Jon Miyahara stood out by doing the exact opposite. He didn't need lines, didn't need scenes built around him, didn't even need words. What he had was presence and a deep understanding of how stillness, when done with intention, could be just as powerful as dialogue. As Brett, the stone-faced, ever-silent employee at Cloud9 and NBC's Superstore, Miyahara created a character that became instantly recognizable to fans of the show, even though he rarely, if ever, spoke. His performances were built entirely on subtle movements, a furrowed brow, sideways glance, a deadpan reaction, while the world unraveled around him. And somehow, those moments always landed. In fact, they often landed harder than the actual punchlines. It's a rare gift in acting, this ability to say more with less. And in an industry that often prioritizes loud, flashy, and fast, Jon Miyahara was a quiet masterclass in restraint, comic timing, and emotional subtlety. You could argue that Brett was the most grounded character in Superstore. While his co-workers lost their minds over policy changes, love triangles, corporate nonsense, or impending disasters, Brett was just there, unshaken, watching, witnessing it all with the kind of expression that said, "Yep, I've seen it all." He was the everyman, the background observer we could all relate to, the guy who didn't insert himself into chaos but simply let it roll off his back with an unbothered shrug. And yet, because of this, he became iconic. The truth is, comedy is hard. Silent comedy, even harder. It requires a performer to internalize the rhythm of a scene, to know when to react, when to stay frozen, and when to let silence be the punchline. Jon Miyahara had that skill in spades. He came from a background rooted in physical theater and character acting, where expression and timing often mattered more than text. That background gave him the kind of comedic instinct that actors spend decades trying to master. In Superstore, this mastery shined episode after episode. Whether Brett was dodging chaos during a Black Friday sale, blending into a crowd during a protest, or casually reappearing after being presumed dead in a tornado, every appearance became a running joke in itself, one that fans anticipated and adored. Even in scenes where he wasn't central, he was always noticeable, always present, always delivering, and therein lies the genius of Jon's performance. He gave us a character who didn't steal scenes by force. He earned his place in the story with consistency, nuance, and a deep understanding of tone. If you scan social media tributes to Jon Miyahara in the days following his passing, you'll see a common theme: love for Brett's silence. Fans remember his dry reactions. You remember how he was always somehow in the background of the most ridiculous events, calm as ever. You remember how he would appear in a crowd in a break room, or behind a shelf, and the internet would erupt with joy. Said nothing, and yet made me laugh every single time. He had one facial expression, and I loved him for it. I always waited for Brett's appearance. He felt like an inside joke shared between the show and the fans. There's something remarkable about that. To be such a minimal character, in terms of screen time and dialogue, yet still etched permanently into the show's legacy, that's a testament to Jon Miyahara's sheer talent and precise craft. Brett wasn't just a bit character. He became a symbol of consistency, of understated humor. Oh, that one coworker we all know and love. Jon Miyahara didn't chase the spotlight. He wasn't a headline name, and he didn't dominate red carpets. But his work was felt, appreciated, and deeply loved, especially by those who understood the art of ensemble storytelling. Actors like Miyahara are the glue in a show's cast, the ones who make the world feel complete. The characters feel real, and the laughter feel earned, behind the scenes. Co-stars described him as warm, witty, generous, and humble. He was a professional who showed up prepared, hit his marks with precision, and brought a quiet calm to the sometimes hectic energy of a TV set. His coworkers respected him, viewers adored him, and his presence elevated every scene he was in. Even off-screen, Jon remained true to his craft. He wasn't in it for fame. He was in it for the joy of acting, for the community of storytelling, for the magic of being part of something that made people smile. The television world moves fast. Shows come and go, characters disappear. But certain performances leave a deeper mark. They represent the quiet brilliance that often goes unspoken. It teaches that humor doesn't have to be loud, that acting doesn't have to be theatrical, and that sometimes the most effective way to say something is to say nothing at all. There's a beauty in that simplicity, a lesson in restraint, and a kind of magic that you can't teach, but that Jon Miyahara embodied in every frame, in a culture driven by spectacle. Brett was the still center. In a world demanding attention, Jon Miyahara taught us the value of quiet. To say that Jon Miyahara will be missed is an understatement. He will be remembered in laughter, in screen captures, in meme culture, and in the hearts of fans who saw themselves in Brett, the quiet observer, the calm soul, the unshakable rock. He may not have had many lines, but he had impact. He may not have taken center stage, but he stole every scene. He may be gone, but his legacy lives on in every rewatch, every gif, and every smile he still manages to spark. So here's to Brett and to Jon, the quietest voice in Cloud 9, but one that spoke volumes. Rest in peace, Jon Miyahara, and thank you for the laughs, the looks, and the legacy. You said so much without saying a word. Forever a presence in the background, forever a legend in our hearts.